Hi everyone, I just want to show you my LAN PC. So this is not my gaming PC, this is intended to be a file host, file server, and a game server. So I was building it up. It's a lovely, let's go look over the case. It's a big old, massive, it is very deep for the time, very deep in comparison to a similar sort of era computer. Quite a deep machine. So this has an interesting design. Antec, always known for the interesting design. So 3 5.25-inch bays, floppy drive. Oddly enough, the front also swings open. Pull the USB ports out the front. It's the front swings open for reasons. So this one is quite deep. So we've got a ATEX standard board. You've got this massive gap here for stuff and things. You've got a hard drive bay up the front there. So currently I've sort of went, okay, well, to get the most out of this machine, I wanted to have an operating system. I want to host games and host files as well. So I figured, make the most out of it. We'll put it on 3 hard drives. So operating system, game servers, and game files. So I figured, well, what hard drives do I use? I was like, oh, okay, well, I've got some sort of late era Seagate 1 terabyte drives. I was like, okay, well, they're going to do the job. But instead I went with, got some Western Digital RE4 enterprise drives, 1 terabyte again. And I'm like, well, this is intended to be a LAN machine, not an everyday machine. So I figured, well, what other things do I have lying around? So then I was like, well, I do have these. These are Seagate Cheetahs, 15K 140 gig hard drives. Wouldn't be great running these in an everyday machine now. I've got a couple others. So I figured, why not? Let's see if I can get a SAS controller. Obviously, the enterprise drives, they're SAS, so if I can get a SAS controller running to run 15K SAS hard drives. Realistically, I don't need the speed. Like, these will get, up to 100 megabytes a second, so that's full gigabit anyway. So realistically, and I could just throw a 500 gig SSD, which is like, I don't know, less than $100 in Australia. So and that would far outperform these 15K drives, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm just going for something interesting. It's interesting to go, oh yeah, I've got a SAS controller. I've got 15,000 RPM drives in this thing. So, I'll give it a go. Last comment, this power supply struggles booting these 3 drives. So the third one is just a Western Digital Blue. It struggles booting these 2 RE4s. So we'll see how it goes with the SAS drives. We'll see if it works. Alright, to the next clip, guys. Thanks. Alrighty, so when I boot the system now, I get the HP Smart Array P400. So that's the RAID card that I've got. We're just going to create a logical volume. We've got 1 of the hard drives installed. Obviously we can only boot it into RAID 0, but that's fine and dandy. Yep, and we're going to save the configuration. Done. Now we can view the logical drive. So now we can see the drive configured. So I did originally have this card in the system, but it didn't seem to work. So I plugged it in. There's some indicator LEDs up on the top edge here. No power, nothing. So absolutely no response from the system with this card in. So put another P400 in and it seems to be working fine. On with the show. Alright, we've booted into Windows. If we go to disk management. Partition, doop-a-doop. Alright, we can see our new disk. This doesn't really matter, but we will. Let's go UEFI. Let that load up. So now we can see our new drive. Some volume. Okay, sounds good. This can be SAS drive 1. Next, finish. Done. That's it. Let's see how it goes on Crystal Disk Mark. On which drive did we just do? It's not there. It's really interesting. Let's see, E, F, G, which is our. Where's our. Huh. Okay. Alright, well let's just restart it and see how we go. Alrighty, so we're back after the restart. The restart didn't work. I had a little play around and it didn't really help. I reinstalled the driver from HP, which you can still download from their website for this card. It's for Server 2003, so a little bit earlier version than Windows 7, but yep. So it's come up as H now, so properly. Let's give it a whirl and see what sort of numbers we get. So, you know, realistically, they should be a little bit better. I'm more hoping for better IOPS really than our standard consumer SATA drive. So we'll see how we go and we'll bring it back when this is done. Thanks guys. Alrighty, and the results are in guys. So definitely a bit of performance uplift in reads and writes, but yeah, some of your lower queue depths, I guess you're still limited by actuator physical movements of those drives. So yeah, definitely, but yeah, significant performance uplift in read and write. So you know, that's really interesting to see. So these are still not limited by the SAS 3 speed, so about 300 megabytes per second. We're getting just under 200, so still not limited by that. And the interface to the computer being a P400, that's PCI Express version 1. So with all 8 lanes, we're getting a whopping 2 gigabytes per second. So, but still, hard drives, you know, we're not really limited by that. So even with 8 drives of this control supports, unless you have a SAS expander, but really for 2 gigabytes a second, that'll be interesting to see and play with, but not very practical. So there we go. So I'll have this running in my system when I go to the LAN party in 2 months. So yeah, so hopefully it lasts till then. So I've got a couple other drives I can throw in there as well. So I've got 4 of these boys. I'm not sure if the power supply will like it, but we'll see how far it gets. So the power supply can do it as long as it's not turning off. So that's why I rate my power supply. So let's just keep adding them in. Alright, thanks guys. Talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video. Just a bit of an interesting look at these are just old drives out of an old server I've got. So old drives doing old things, so playing old games, and that's what I'm all about. So talk to you next time. Bye for now.